students, so for today I will just give you a brief discussion and explanation on what you will do for your home-based learning there at home about the topic shapes. For this week, we will focus on the first two objectives, which is to recognize and classify polygons, and the second one is to identify and describe properties of quadrilaterals. Okay, so let's start with my first example. But before that, let's define what polygon is. Okay, in geometry, you say polygon. Polygon is actually a 2D shape with three or more straight sides. So always remember it must be a closed 2D shape. If there is an opening, okay, in this given shape, this is not considered as a polygon. Okay, now let's try to identify the following shapes if it is a polygon or not polygon. So let's start with the first one. Okay, so the first one is actually a triangle. So this is actually an example of polygon because this is a 2D shape. It is a closed 2D shape with three straight sides. So this is an example of a polygon. So let's have the second one. The second one is not example of a polygon because not all the sides are actually straight. Though it's a 2D shape, okay, it is a closed 2D shape, but not all the sides are straight. So this is not considered as a polygon. The third one is not example of a polygon because this is not a 2D shape. It is a 3D shape. So therefore, if it is a 3D shape, it is not considered as a polygon. Okay, so let's have the last example. So the last example is not a polygon because there is an opening in here. So as you can see, it is not closed, right? So if it is not closed, it is not considered as a polygon. So there you go. So that is how to identify if a shape is actually a polygon or not. But always remember, a polygon is a closed 2D shape with three or more straight sides. Okay, so let's go on. Now, if a polygon has equal sides and equal angles, so these polygons are actually called regular polygon. Okay, always remember, if all equal sides and all equal angles, these polygons are called regular polygons. So let's have some examples. So let's say that all sides are the same. So this is a regular polygon. So this is actually a regular triangle, which is called an equilateral triangle. So the second one, if all sides are the same, it is called a regular pentagon, right? So the last example is you have six sides in there. If all sides are the same, it is actually called a regular hexagon. Okay, now let's go on with the next, which is actually quadrilateral. So quadrilateral is another example of polygon, but this polygon has exactly four sides. Okay, if a polygon has exactly four sides, so this polygon is actually called a quadrilateral. Okay, what are the examples of quadrilateral? First is of course rectangle. So rectangle, opposite sides are equal. All angles are right angles. Opposite sides are also parallel. Okay, so those two opposite sides are parallel. Another example of a quadrilateral is a square. In square, all sides are equal. All angles are also right angles. And opposite sides are also parallel. Okay, so these are the first two examples of quadrilaterals. But there are some other examples of quadrilaterals like parallelogram. So parallelogram, opposite sides are equal, so it means those two opposite sides are the same in length. Okay, opposite angles are also equal, so this angle is actually equal with this angle. So since those two angles are opposite, so same thing with these two angles. Okay, because they are opposite, so those two angles are also equal or the same. Okay, another quadrilateral is actually called rhombus. For rhombus, all sides are equal. It means all the sides are same in length. Opposite angles are also equal. So same thing with the parallelogram. So those two opposite angles are actually equal, and then opposite sides are also parallel. So basically, rhombus is actually a parallelogram, but all sides are the same. Okay. Now, so another example of a quadrilateral is a kite. A kite, two pairs of adjacent sides, which are those sides which are next to each other, are actually equal. So this side is adjacent here, so those sides must be equal. So this side is also adjacent in this side, so they must be equal. Now one pair of opposite angles are also equal. Okay, so one pair of opposite angles are also equal. Now the last one is actually the trapezium. So trapezium, okay, so here is the example. Only one pair of opposite sides is actually parallel. So this side is parallel in this side, okay, but these two other sides are not parallel. So if only one pair of opposite sides is actually parallel, so that quadrilateral is called trapezium. Okay, so there you go. So those are the other examples of quadrilaterals. Okay, all right. Now for your practice, I want you to do let's practice numbers 1 and 2. That is actually on page 30 of your people's book.
That's all for today. I'll see you again next week. Have a great day and keep safe everyone.